You cut the carbs, you counted every calorie, and you walked until your legs felt heavy. By every normal rule, the weight should be coming off. Your smartwatch even celebrates your 10,000 steps like you just won something. But when you look in the mirror, that stubborn fat around your midsection is still there. In some cases, your body may even look softer, puffier, and weaker than when you started. There is a biological reason for this, and it has nothing to do with laziness, weak discipline, or lack of willpower. You are fighting a hidden survival mechanism, and that mechanism may be canceling out the very thing you believe is helping you. While you are trying to burn fat, your body may actually be receiving a chemical signal to store it. That is what I call the endurance paradox. For decades, people have been taught that fat loss comes from moving constantly at a moderate pace for a long stretch of time every day. But biologically, your body does not interpret that as a healthy workout. It often interprets it as a prolonged low-grade stress event. In evolutionary terms, humans walked long distances to find food. We also sprinted in short bursts to escape danger. What we did not do was spend an hour every morning moving at the same medium intensity without change. When you repeat moderate cardio over and over without enough recovery, your body can interpret it as an ongoing migration under energy stress. So it raises cortisol, your main stress hormone, to keep you going. And when that pattern happens, daily cortisol may never fully settle back down. Now think about where the 10,000 step rule came from. Most people assume it came from medical science. It did not. The number became popular because of a marketing campaign for a pedometer. That means millions of people have built their fat loss strategy around a number that was never designed as a personalized biological target. Now let's look at what chronically elevated cortisol can do to your muscles. Cortisol helps break down tissue so the body can create more fuel. One of the ways it does this is by pushing the body toward making glucose from other materials. In simple terms, if your body believes energy is scarce, it may start pulling from your own muscle tissue. That muscle gets broken down into raw materials sent to the liver and turned into glucose. That glucose then enters the bloodstream to support an emergency that is not even real. Your pancreas responds by releasing insulin to manage it, and this is where the trap gets worse. Insulin is one of the major signals that slows fat burning. So now, you're stuck in a state where your body may be using your own muscle as fuel while still holding on to belly fat. You are sacrificing metabolically active tissue, while the fat you actually want to lose stays right where it is. But the hormonal problem is only one layer. There is also a mechanical problem, because even if you are walking every day, many people, especially after 50, are doing it in a way that slowly weakens the body instead of rebuilding it. The first mistake is the short, shuffling stride. As people get older, stride length often starts shrinking. Steps become shorter, faster, and less powerful. It feels easier and safer, so most people never question it. But a short stride changes everything. Your hips stop moving through their full range, your lower body becomes less dynamic, and circulation mobility and stability all begin to suffer. Your stride is like the size of an engine. When it becomes too small and too restricted, the whole system becomes less efficient. Then there's breathing. Take a breath right now. Did your chest rise first, or did your belly expand? A huge number of adults walk while breathing shallowly through the upper chest. That means they are never fully using the lower portion of the lungs. It is like trying to fill a large container with water, but only using the top inch of space. The system is technically working, but only at a fraction of its real capacity. That kind of breathing can make the body feel less safe, not more safe. It can increase tension, it can reinforce stress, and it can make a walk that should calm the nervous system do the opposite. Then comes the next issue, the constant pace. Most people walk at exactly the same speed from the first minute to the last. Same route, same rhythm, same intensity, every day. The body adapts to repetitive input very quickly. Once it adapts, the return drops. Walking at one unchanging pace is like lifting the same tiny dumbbell for years and expecting your body to transform. At some point, the signal becomes too weak to matter. And where are people doing this walking? usually on flat sidewalks, smooth roads, or treadmills. That may feel comfortable, but comfort has a cost. When you only move on flat, predictable surfaces, the tiny stabilizing muscles in your ankles, knees, hips, and core do less and less work. Over time, those muscles begin to weaken from neglect. That means balance slowly declines, reaction speed drops, and the body becomes less resilient in the exact ways that matter most with age. So how do you fix this? How do you turn walking from a low-reward routine into one of the most effective tools for fat loss, blood sugar control, stress reduction, and long-term strength? You stop punishing the body, and you start using walking with strategy. The first shift is what I call the metabolic flush. Instead of forcing one long, stressful walk at a random time of day, use short, brisk walks after meals. 10 to 15 minutes is enough. When you eat, blood sugar rises. Normally, your body needs insulin to help move that sugar out of the bloodstream. But your leg muscles are some of the biggest glucose sinks in the entire body. When they contract, they can pull glucose out of the blood far more efficiently. That means a brisk walk after a meal helps redirect sugar into muscle instead of allowing it to stay elevated in the bloodstream. It reduces the burden on insulin. And lower insulin pressure means less signal for fat storage. In other words, instead of trying to burn everything off in one exhausting block, you are handling energy right when it enters the system. That is a much smarter biological move. The second shift is using walking to shut down stress, not increase it. When you walk and the world moves past your eyes in a steady rhythm, your brain can enter a calmer state. The threat centers of the brain begin to quiet down. Your nervous system receives a message that says you are safe. That matters because a body that feels safe behaves very differently from a body that feels stressed. A stressed body hoards energy. A safe body releases it more easily. A stressed body breaks tissue down. A safe body is more willing to recover and rebuild. So instead of turning walking into another stressor, use it as a signal of safety. The third shift is using the FIT approach. Frequency matters. You need consistency. Not perfection, but consistency. Intensity matters too. Do not walk at one flat pace the entire time. Every few minutes, pick up the pace for a short burst, then bring it back down. This creates variation. It keeps the body engaged. It prevents the system from settling into autopilot. You want to be moving fast enough that talking is possible, but not effortless. That is often the sweet spot. Time also matters, but not in the way most people think. You do not need to worship 10,000 steps. For many people, around 30 total minutes of walking across the day can already create major benefits. That often lands somewhere around 6,000 to 7,000 steps, depending on stride and pace. The point is not chasing a magical number. The point is sending the right signal often enough to create adaptation. And finally, there is the way you end the walk and the way you pay attention during it. A lot of people finish walking and immediately sit down. That is not ideal. Your blood is still moving. Your tissues are still warm. Your heart is still adjusting. Take a few slow minutes to cool down. Let circulation normalize. Let your breathing settle. Let the body shift out gradually instead of slamming into stillness. And one more thing. The worst thing you can do during your walk is disconnect your brain from your body. That means staring at your phone the whole time. That means moving mindlessly. That means letting your gait become automatic, sloppy, and disconnected. Walking is not just a physical act. It is a neurological act. Your brain is coordinating balance, rhythm, posture, visual input, foot placement, and breathing all at once. The more present you are, the more valuable the walk becomes. So keep the phone away when you can. Pay attention to how your feet land. Let your stride open slightly. Breathe deeper into the belly. Let the walk become something your whole system participates in. Your body is incredibly adaptive. If you keep punishing it with long, moderate sessions that raise stress and drain muscle, it will defend itself. It will slow things down. It will protect fat. It will move into survival mode. But when you walk in a way that lowers stress, improves blood sugar, handling rebuilds movement quality, and restores stability, the body starts cooperating again. That is when belly fat becomes easier to lose. That is when energy starts coming back. That is when your body stops acting like it is trapped in an emergency. So stop obsessing over a number that was never designed for your biology. Walk after meals. Vary your pace. Use your breath. Lengthen your stride. Choose movement that rebuilds the body instead of draining it. And most of all, stop waiting for the perfect Monday, the perfect plan, or the perfect level of motivation. Start with the next walk. Do it differently. And let your body remember what healthy movement is supposed to feel like.